everyone, Bonnie here with a little short mat Pilates class for you today. This class is going to be just all abdominal exercises. So it's one that you can pair with another class with another focus. If you're just looking for a good solid core workout, this will be it. I want to go through a couple little reminders before we start. For all of the work on the back, you will see me holding my head up a lot. So if you tend to have issues in the neck, you can do a couple things. You can either put your hands behind the head and really support. You want to make sure when you lift that you're looking forward at the legs as opposed to up. And the focus is really on the upper abdominals. That's where we want to get that lift. You can reach your arms. If that gets to be too much, you can rest the head down and move, do all of the leg work here. Paying attention that you're not arching up. The rib cage is down. You're really trying to connect your back to the mat. And you might find that that's more difficult with the head down, which it is. So don't always think head up is more work. Yes, it's more work for the upper abdominals and your neck. Head down can actually be a little more work for the low abdominals and your stabilizing muscles around your back. So you might see me switch between those two positions as we go, and I need you to just figure out what's best for your body today. We're gonna start with the feet flat on the mat, arms down by our sides, and just take a couple pelvic tilts. So what I'm doing here is tucking my tail, lifting just the bottom, the tailbone off the mat, and then releasing back to neutral spine. So tuck the pelvis and release. So you're checking in here, kind of what sort of movement do you have through that low back. And as we go through our abdominal work, you want to either focus on keeping the back firmly pressed, that's called imprint, or neutral, where you have a little bit of space. Now that's just individual to what feels right on your body. You will see me holding more of a neutral spine when my head is down, and then you'll see that my back goes flat when my head is up. And that's what works for my body. Listen to yours. Here we go. We're gonna start with a march, really easy. One leg comes up at a time. Stabilizing the pelvis. That means the distance from the ribs to the hip bones are even. And we're also not rocking side to side. So it's a very simple movement, but you wanna take the time to really be aware of what's moving, what's not moving. Exhale as we lift the leg. Inhale as we lower. Let's go 4 more like this. 1, and the neck is long, the head is down. 2, lift up for 3, and lift up for 4. Now I'm gonna take my hands behind my head and curl up while I do these. So I'm gonna march here and lay down. And again, you might notice that the back goes a little flatter as I curl up and longer on the way down. Curl and lower. Breathing out to lift, in to lower. Exhale up, elbows are wide. Breathe out and in and out and in. Lay it down. Move number 2, alternating marches or toe taps. One leg up, arms pressed down. At the same time, switch the legs. Right away, this kicks more into the low abdominals. Careful not to arch. Press the back down and switch. Now, if you can't quite touch the floor, that's okay. Just go to wherever you can and switch. Exhale. Exhale. Keep going for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Both legs tabletop. Hands come behind the head. Back to an ab curl. We curl up and lower down. Now where you hold your legs matters. Knees into the chest is going to support your back more. You'll notice that mine got flatter when the knees came in. Knees away, a little harder, Still trying to keep the low belly drawn down and back. Let's go 4. Inhale. You also don't have to lay all the way down. That actually just puts more work on the neck because you have to lift it more. Hold here, option to lay down and go to those toe taps and switch. Your eyes look right down toward the thighs. You may reach your arms here, might find it's a little easier to lift, or keep them behind the head for support. 4 more times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Legs bend and lay it down. Next, we're going to take our legs up. Arms come down. On an exhale, stretch the legs up, sink the belly toward the floor, and then bend your knees. So as the legs go up, the belly presses down, back into the floor, and lower down. Exhale to reach and lower. Now we're going to reach and hold. The legs don't quite straighten all the way, no big deal. Keep a little bend in them. And I'm going to reach my arms up this time and do an ab curl. So I'm going to curl up, legs stay where they are. You could have your hands behind your head here. For me, it actually makes it harder, right? Because I've basically added a weight to my upper body. So you can choose position. Let's go for 4. And back. Exhale for 3. And back. Breathe out for 2. And down. And breathe out for 1. And down. Bend the knees. From here, head is down, arms down. We're going to take one leg and reach it out. And I want you to hold here. Notice what happened to your back. Did it arch a lot? If it did, can you pull the navel into the spine and bring the knee in? Other leg, can you keep this still in the center of your body and then pull the knee in? If you're getting a lot of pull, especially in your low back, or you're moving too much, don't reach your leg as far. Maybe reach halfway. Go to that point where you feel like it's moving. The best thing you can do is learn just your awareness. Understand when you're moving, when you've moved too far. And as you get stronger, your range of motion will get bigger. And let's make this a simultaneous switch. Now, the lower you take that straight leg, the harder it is. Remember at the beginning, I said head down does not mean easier. This is really hard on those low abdominals to keep that back nice and anchored. Let's go 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Legs come in, little rest. We're going to curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. This time, I'm going to have my arms reaching. So I'm going to curl my head, neck, and shoulders up. This time, eyes to thighs. I take one leg out. Again, pause. Maybe notice how this is different. You know, for me, much easier to keep the back engaged or back connected. Upper abs are now working harder. And switch. So hopefully one of the takeaways I want you to get from this is there's not a position that is necessarily easy. They work the body differently. And you have to do what's best for you and understand where you're feeling it. If this is all neck and you're like, I'm not getting any abdominal, you can rest your head down. And let's switch at the same time. Remember, the lower the leg goes, the more difficult it is. And switch. Here's our 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Bring it in and rest it down. All right, taking this a step further. Legs come back up to the ceiling. Arms are going to rest down by our sides. Remember, head down, low belly is on. Right leg reaches down. Now, whole new challenge. That leg is a long lever. Try not to move your top leg. Try to keep the back anchored. Use your belly and pull the leg up. Other way, reach it down. And use your abs and pick the leg up. Do it again. Inhale to reach. And exhale to lift. Press the back of the arms. into the floor. And the leg doesn't have to be straight, right? It can be bent here. You're just aware of how your back feels. Are you holding your breath? Right? Can you use your breath to help you? One more like this. And now move them at the same time. So one lowers, and then we switch. Bigger, more than likely, more challenging, especially on the lowering leg. And lift, and go 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Legs up. Just like before, you can reach the arms behind the head or long in front of you. I'm going to bring mine behind the head and take one leg down. Exhale to lift. And inhale, exhale, lift. Do this again. Reach and lift. Inhale, reach. Now alternate the legs. One down and switch. Keeping the back as stable as we can. Go 4, go 3, go 2, go 1. Legs up and rest down. Right, hopefully you're feeling these with me. One more in this progression, moving both legs at the same time. Progression number 1 is a double leg, we'll call it a toe tap. So I'm going to tap my toes toward the mat and up. Foot cramp, there we go. You're going to tap your toes down and up. Now this exercise, I'm going to raise my arms for a second. Really easy to put too much movement in the back. I want you to think about keeping the back down. How low can you take the legs without moving your back? Game changer for the abdominals. You do not have to touch the mat. So if you get here and you're really fighting, stop there. That's how you build strength, is with awareness. Right? If you let things move all over the place every time and you're unaware, then you're not going to be strengthening the areas where you're weaker in the center of your body. Do one more. Now this is one of those moments, we're going to curl up now, that this exercise is actually much easier with the head up because you have a support, right? And I guess when I say easier, I mean on the low abdominals, this is still a ton of work on the upper abs. 2 more times, inhale away, exhale, pull it in. 1 more time, inhale away, exhale, pull it in. Let's rest down. And we're going to take this up 1 more level. Legs up to, again, your version of straight. The head is down, the arms are pressing. We inhale away. We exhale to lift. Be very, very mindful of your back. Think of your legs like 2 weights. You just handed your abdominals these weights and said, hold these, right? Just like your biceps, they would be working. Your abdominals are working. Use the back of your arms, your hands, to help you anchor. Exhale to lift. Only go to that place where you feel things start to shift. Keep the work on the front side of your body. Let's add that head lift. Reaching, remember, sometimes it's a welcome help here. Inhale away. Exhale, scoop and lift. Inhale, maybe you can take your legs lower, maintaining position. Exhale, lift. Keeping in mind, these are all progressions. You might not be ready for all of these with straight legs today. You will build into it. Inhale, exhale to lift, and rest down. Awesome work. We are going to move into some obliques. Bring the feet to the mat and bring your hands behind your head. And take the feet a little wider than maybe what feels normal. We're going to curl up and turn to the right. Think about 2 things. 1, keeping your left hip down and picking your left shoulder blade up. And come to the center. Same side. Lift. Really think about this as a lift.
lifting the shoulder blade as opposed to a twist where I'm barely lifting. I want to go up with this elbow. My left elbow reaches toward the ceiling. That's what's going to create that work in the obliques. One more time to lift. Let's go other way and lift. I probably should have showed this side first. So as I lift, right, hip is anchored, shoulder blade is off, and down, and up, and down. Exhale. Inhale back. I'm using my legs to anchor my pelvis. Go 4 and down. So it's helpful sometimes, I think, to go to the same side multiple times so you really get deeper into the work. Do one more here, center, and bring it on down. Excellent. Now we're going to bring our legs up to tabletop. So we do not have the assist of the feet, meaning we have to pull our low bellies in, and I find it helpful to squeeze the legs together so that I keep my pelvis as still as I can. I'm going to turn to the right. Shoulder blade lifts and lowers. Couple notes about the legs. If I bring them into my chest, my low back will be more supported. And if that's something you need, go for it. Obliques are still going to work just as hard. If you're looking for a little more low abdominal, full core connection, knees over the pelvis, 90-90. Much harder to hold. And down. Make sure I'm breathing out and in. One more time. Up. Other side. Twist. Check in. Are the legs moving? They should be solid. Hold that tray right on your shins. Lift and back. And let's go 4. And back. And 3. And back. 2 more. Lift and lower. One more time. Up and take a little break. Now the progression of this is adding a movement of the legs. Starting in tabletop, we're going to turn to our right and extend our left leg. Now we've done that leg movement earlier, so that means low belly in, shoulder blade off, come through center, that's a pass-through moment, and then we twist again. And we come center. We call this one crisscross. And in, and twist, and in. Keep going here. Keep getting foot cramps if you see my feet. Doing some funky things here. And go for 4. And twist for 3. 2 more. Turn, and 1. Center, and down. Feeling those along with me. All right, from here, we're going to take a roll up. So you can have the legs bent or straight. Reaching the arms, we're going to draw chin to chest and roll ourselves up to the top. And we're going to roll it on down. So we've done a lot of holding of the back. Now we want to do some release work, working on core control. Take it up again. Lengthen the spine and roll it down and down. 2 more times. Take it up and up and articulate down and down. We're going to come up and stay up at the top, finishing with just a little seated movement, opening the arms wide. Turn to the right, spine twist. And exhale, center. And other side, turn. And center. Each way again. Breathe it in. And exhale. One more time. Twist. And center. Spine stretch. Just round. Pull the navel back. Reach your fingers forward. And rise up. Let the arms come overhead. Take your right arm down on the floor beside you. Take a big side bend into those obliques. And rise up. And go to the other side, big side bend over. And rise on up. And release your arms. Great work. So hopefully you, again, felt that right along with me. Great class to review. Lots of little moments there of really just kind of breaking down what's known as a crunch. So hopefully you got a lot out of that one. Thanks as always for joining me, and I will see you next time.